Hello everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode here on 1950's Farm. As you can see, combining finished in the soybeans, and now the plough is out. So it's that time of year again. We've got to try and get this, excuse me, we've got to try and get this ploughed as quickly as possible, so that we can then get on with drilling it, because time is pressing on the farm, and we need to get done. But it's not going too bad in this field, actually, to be fair. The ploughing and the combining was okay in the end. It took a few hours, but nothing too drastic. Yeah, it was a bit of an epic battle. So, how are you all doing today? I hope you're all okay. Hope your day is going very good. My day is mixed, to say the least. So I went to the eye clinic this morning because, as you know, I've got old person's disease and cataracts, and I went to see one of the surgeons who's going to do the operation, and because I've got quite bad cataracts on both eyes, even though I can see fairly well, I just can't always see letters very well. Letters and the detailing on people's faces, I can't see all that well either. But from a distance, I can see them sort of, when they're close up. But yeah, so I can't see them from a distance. And I was talking with the surgeon, and he said we'll do an eye test. So I said okay. So anyway, we did an eye test, and he said, well, you actually read one line further than last time. So I said okay. I said, well, that's quite good. So he said, that's surprising. He said, I'll give you that. So I said okay. So anyway, he then got the apparatus and sort of put it right on the end of my face. Put all these bright lights into my eyes, and then he says to me, he said, I'm gonna put some eye drops in. So I said okay. So he said what it do is it highlights your eye, really, bright for me to be able to really see in there. So I said okay, fair enough. So he said, but it might sting. So I said, that's fine. I said, yeah, that's all right, don't worry. I said, I've had worse. And he said, well, I've been looking at your health record. He said, yeah. He said, I can fully appreciate you probably had a lot worse than this. I said, the only thing that bothers me. So he said, yeah. I said, is the injection in the eye. I said, I just can't get my head around that. I said, and it's making me not want to have it done. So he said, we'll talk about that in a little while. He said, let me have a look at your eyes first. I said, okay. So he said, you've got nothing to worry about there. So I said, right. He said, but we'll talk about it in a bit. So I said, okay, so fair enough. So he puts his eye drops in, and everything, and I mean everything, went a really fluorescent yellow. It was like someone had shoved sunglasses lenses on my eyes, and that was all I could see. And I was like, oh my god. And he goes, it's all right. He said, what colour are you seeing? So I said, bright yellow. So I said, like really vivid fluorescent dago, really in your face yellow, rave yellow. So he said, that's good. So I said, it is. He said, yes. He said, I was really fearing you was going to see like a really sort of so that the colour that I could see can apparently come through as like a yellowy green colour, and apparently that's bad. But he said the fact that to you that's bright yellow. I said, oh, I said, it's the brightest yellow I've ever seen in my life. And he said, okay. He said, that's fine. So he looked in my eyes anyway. So he said to me, he said, how bad is your eyes? So I said, well, I don't know. I said, that's your job. And he laughed. He said, no. He goes, I mean, just in general, everyday life, like, how bad is your eyes? Like, he said, what does it stop you doing? I said, it doesn't stop me doing anything. He said, can you read a book? I said, yeah, I can read a book. He said, and you can see the words okay? So I said, I can see the words fine, yeah, that's no problem. So he said, okay. He said, what do you do all day? I said, what do I do all day? I said, I sit in front of a computer screen all day. So he said, okay, so fair enough. He said, doing what? So I said, making videos for YouTube. So he said, oh, okay, fair enough. So he said, you're a millionaire then? So I said, no, I only just started. I said, I said, I'm struggling to get, 20 views sometimes. And he was sort of kind of laughing. And he said, all right, fair enough. He said, well, everyone's got to start somewhere. So I said, yeah. Anyway, surprisingly, he took the name of my channel. He said, I'll give you a check out and I'll subscribe. So I said, well, appreciate that. Thank you. And anyway, so he said to me, he said, apart from, he said, little black words on he said, like black lettering on the TV. So I said, yeah. He said, and people's sort of face detailing. I said, yeah. He said, you can see are the wires okay? It doesn't stop you from doing anything. So I said, no. He said, what about driving? So I said, yeah. I said, I can see to drive. So he said, okay. He said, can you read a number plate from 20 metres? Let's test it. So anyway, he got the letter sizing of what would be on a number plate 20 metres away. Dosh goes, read it out to me. Said, I can't. I said, that's just one massive blur to me. So he said, oh dear. So he said, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? So I said, well, not really. So he said, what do you mean? So I said, I don't get this. He said, okay. He said, what don't you get? I said, I got to be able to see a number plate from 20 metres. So I said, yeah. I said, even though I'm not looking for number plates. I said, I'm not a policeman. I said, so therefore, I said, I could see why they would have to be able to read a number plate from 20 metres. I said, I don't really see why I do. I said, I'm not being funny. When I'm coming towards junctions, I'm not looking for number plates pulling out on me. I'm looking for cars. I said, I gotta be honest. I said, I've never once had to brake sharply for a number plate. And he started laughing. And he said, hey, it's a very good point. And I said, wait, I said, it's the same with pedestrians when I get to the pedestrian crossing. I said, I can see people fine. I said, the fact that I can't really see their faces, I said, doesn't really bother me. I said, but I can see them. I said, so I can see that they're there. I said, and I can see cats and things. I said, but never once have I been driving towards a zebra crossing and gone, ooh, I must look out for the number plates. I don't get it. I said, I just do not get why, as a driver, people are saying to me, well, you can't drive if you can't see number plates. I said, because when I'm driving, I don't even look at the bloody number plates anyway. I said, I'm looking straight ahead where I'm going. I said, and very occasionally, I will look at the person driving in the car going the other way. I said, I don't really see them, if I'm honest. I said, but, I said, just a little bit of eye contact. I said, sometimes, I said, it makes the world go round, doesn't it? And he said, yeah. He said, oh, right, fair enough. He said, fair enough. He said, I wasn't going to say to you. He said, anyway, go to, you'll have to tell DVLA. He said, because I'm certainly not going to tell them. He said, because I don't think your eyesight is bad enough for me to tell them. So I said, well, it's not. I said, like I said, I can see everything that I need to see. I said, I said, if I couldn't, if people were blurry, if cars were blurry, and what have you, I said, I would say. I said, and I would also stop driving. I said, because I drive my son around. I said, not at the minute, admittedly, because I'm not allowed to see him at the moment, because his mum won't let me. I said, but, normally I drive my son around. I said, and I wouldn't put him in a car with me if I couldn't see properly. And he said, he goes, that's fair enough. So I said, I said, so it's a case, I said, I said, apart from the TV screen with the little black words, I said, and I'm speaking about a specific program, I said, as in the snooker, I said, as in the little score on the bottom of the screen, where it says the name. I said, I can see the name, that's fine. I said, that's no problem. I said, but the numbers are so tiny. I said, and it's a really old TV screen as well. I said, so it could even be that the pixels are not that clear. So he said, fair enough. So I said, I said, but I said, I've got a modern computer monitor. I said, and I can see everything on there fine. I said, there's no, I said, and also as well, if I watch snooker on there, I can see the numbers fine on there. So he said, okay, fair enough. I said, but it's just that and people's face dealing. I said, people's face details. I said, and also when I go racing, I said, like, sometimes I can't see the numbers on the cars on the other side of the track. And he said, how vital is that to your night's racing? I said, well, it isn't. I said, because I can see the car and I can recognise the driver by the car. So he said, exactly. So I said, like, I said, other than that, I said, like, I don't really have any issues. I said, like, I don't really. There's, I said, there's nothing really. I said, and apparently I can't read a number plate from 20 metres either. So he said, no. He said, but he said, we've already established you're not looking for number plates. So I said, no. He said, my recommendation would be, he said, you're 43 years of age. He said, you're very young to get cataracts. He said, but you've had them since birth. So he said, you were born with them. He said, and the way we can tell that is that if you get them through like old age, bang on the head, or etc, etc, he said they're very cloudy and they look a bit like a callus a little bit. So I said, right. He said, whereas yours are really clear. So I said, right. So he said, it means you can see through yours. He said the difference is that what they do is they just distort the light a little bit, and he said, like, they also just so he said, like, people's detailing of the facing. I said, yeah. He said, so he said, because you've got like a little arch over the centre of your eyeball on each eye. He said, yeah. He said, that's why you're having trouble, because you've either got to look underneath the arch of the cataract or over the top of it. So I said, right. He said, and that's why you're having ever so slight trouble with with being able to see people's sort of detailing. So I said, okay. So he said, but honestly, he said, most people are not worth looking at. I wouldn't bother about it. He said, like, he said, the thing is, he said, I'll do the operation if you want them done. He said, I'll do it. He said, it's an easy operation. He said, you're going to be in about an hour. You go home and you can just get on with your life. He said, like, he said, it's really straightforward. It's really easy. So I said, okay. So he said, you've said that you're nervous about the old, inject needle in the eye. So I said, yeah. So he said, okay. He said, why? He said, let's not have it done then. So I said, yeah, but I said, then he said, if I do it, he said, you're going to lose all of the sight close up. He said, so it means you're going to need reading glasses. It means you're going to need glasses to see things that are not that far from your face. He said, you'll be able to read a number plate from about 500 metres. He said, because you will get your long-sighted vision back. He said, you will be able to see a very long way. So I said, okay. He said, he said, honestly, he said, I wouldn't do it. He said, I genuinely, he said, I would not have it done. He said, I would wait until you're in your 50s. And even then you're a little bit young, but if you want it done then, he said, like, we'll happily do it then. He said, he said, I'll do it now, but you'll have to wear glasses. He said, because, I won't be able to give you short vision. So I said, okay. So I said, all right. I said, well, I said, to be fair, I said, as it's like really around Christmas and everything, I said, I would rather not have it done anyway. I said, like, because I said, the only reason he said, and he asked, he said, like, why did you come to the opticians? And I said, well, I went because everyone kept getting on at me because I couldn't see the writing on the snooker on the TV. I had to keep getting people to read the score out to me if I'd sort of been doing something and then looked up at the TV to see what the score was, and obviously I couldn't see it. And I said, like, if mum, or I said, like, my son, or whatever was in the room, I used to have to say to them, what's the score? I said, like, but otherwise, I said, like, I can see fine. So he said, yeah. He said, I'd leave it. And so luckily I managed to leave it. I said, one final question. He said, yes. I said, when's every good thing going to stop being really fluorescent yellow? I said, because it's making me feel sick. And he said, oh, he goes, that'll be a few days. So I was there this morning. And the computer screen that I'm looking at is like a really vivid, sort of almost yolky kind of yellow. I struggle to describe how yellow everything looks. Hence the reason why, as I say, because I've finished off when I got back, I finished off the combine because I had a little bit more to do, and then I started doing the ploughing, and then I thought, right, I better I better I better get on with a little bit of ploughing, and then we can sort of start recording. And that's what I did. I sort of kind of got on with it, but I'm really struggling because everything is bright yellow. It's, as I say, it's making me feel very, very queasy. It was like, oh, we'll perhaps go out for dinner today, and I was like, do you mind if we don't? She's like, why? I said, because everything looks really bright yellow. I said, and I'm really not feeling great with it. And she's like, okay, fair enough. Yeah, but apart from that, everything's grand. As I say, hopefully your day going good as well, and we'll hopefully crack on with this ploughing, and we won't definitely get it done in this episode, but over the next sort of day or two, hopefully we will get it done, and we'll be on to some drilling. So I still can't really make my mind up whether or not to do cotton. Like I say, it wasn't something that was done on the farm. And I've said this many times before. I want to keep it as sort of real to the farm or real to life for Harry and everyone as I can. But at the same time, I've explained this to Harry's family as well, and said but there will be occasions when I will have to come away from that slightly, just in terms of sort of content, just in terms of making my videos sort of different and interesting and new. And cotton wasn't something that they did in the 50s. Now, so Hank and his daughter, they have both said that, well, certainly Hank has definitely said, and I think his daughter's just kind of backed him up on that, but they have said that in the 60s their dad started to do contract cotton, so he would go off to the sort of cotton growing areas of the US, and he would spend a few weeks of the year, sometimes month, depending on sort of how well the cotton harvest was going, and sort of driving either the cotton harvesters or the trailers, but I don't know whether you'd call them bins or something for what they then, and they would have they had trailed cotton harvesters, and I have seen a picture of them, and the one that I showed you a few episodes ago now is similar, but there are differences, that is for sure. So I don't know what to do about that. It's something I would like to do. I would like to do cotton, and as I've said, it's it's obviously a computer game at the end of the day, and as I say, I like to sort of try and keep things varied and different and interesting if I can, because that's my job. And so as I say, it's just difficult to know what to do at the minute. But anyway, I've probably gone on for far too long. So I don't know why I did that. I couldn't get it out. I knew what I wanted to say, it wouldn't come out. So I'm going to switch it over to a little bit of time lapse, and then as I say, it's probably going to be a bit short of a video today, because I really am struggling sitting here with everything looking really bright yellow. So I think I may have to concede and not play on the computer quite as long today, because it's making me feel queasy and it's making me feel dizzy. It's very, very odd. And apparently this is going to last for a few. Well, it can last. He said anywhere from sort of 12 to sort of 48 hours. He said, like, some people it will clear, sort of within the 12-hour mark, and then other people can have it, a couple of 3 days. So he said, but it will go. So I said, okay. I said, and if it doesn't, he said, no, there's no if it doesn't. He said, it will go. He said, because the dye will just, he said, basically, he said, I've dyed your eyes. That's what I've done. So when I look in the mirror now, I've got bright fluorescent eyes, which is really cool, but really weird to look out of. Like, it's really strange and really odd. So anyway, I'm going to switch over to a bit of time lapse, and as I say, this video might end up being a little bit shorter than normal. If it does, it's just because it's a little bit too uncomfortable to look at the screen. But I wanted to get a video done. I want to try and keep to my schedule, so something on this occasion is better than no video at all. So and obviously next week I've got a couple of days off from recording, because obviously Christmas, and we're sort of going away to some friends and family apparently now. We wasn't, so it was looking like it was going to be just recording as normal, but now it's kind of like, we've got to go and see them. I was like, oh, do we have to? I don't even like them. But yeah, so I'm kidding, by the way, I was joking. But yeah, so I'm going to have a couple of days off next year, Christmas, and yeah, we'll go and sort that out. So I also want to try and keep recording as much as I can, just so I can sort of keep meeting my targets, or getting very close to my targets. But anyway, like I say, waffled on too long, so a bit of time lapse, and I'll see you at the end.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. So loud as the hours pass, we're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop,
So there we go. That has got some of the ploughing done. It's nice and straight, actually. Which, to be fair, I mean, as I've said many times before, and as you all know anyway, because I've gone on about it enough, but this was my job on the real farm, and I absolutely love ploughing, and I don't know, I just sort of, whenever it doesn't matter, you know, sort of whether it's a computer game or whatever, whenever I sit down and start ploughing, it's just like full concentration mode comes in, and it's been a bit more awkward today because, like I say, everything is bright fluorescent yellow. So because normally I just sort of line the track up with the edge of the furrow before and sort of just drive along it, sort of thing, and that's easy enough to keep straight. But at this precise moment in time, everything looks the same. Everything is just bright yellow. It's one-dimensional and bright yellow, so it's not easy to kind of see where one texture ends and the other one begins for me to kind of line it up. But I think I am keeping it relatively straight if my eyes are not deceiving me completely. Probably eventually when this does clear and I get to watch the video back, I'll see the massive wiggly lines going all the way down the field, thinking, oh, it looks straight. But yeah, so as I say, it's been a bit more trickier and awkward today, but I am going to have to concede defeat, as I thought I might do. I genuinely thought when I started recording this video that I might struggle here to do a proper full-length video. It's like I say, it's just literally everything is a really deep, well, fluorescent yellow. It's not really a deep yellow, it's just a really fluorescent yellow, and it's making me feel really queasy. So I am going to leave the video here. I hope you don't mind, and I do apologise, and when we get to the next one we'll be back up and running again, and hopefully this will have gone. As I say, I'm probably actually not going to use my computer no more until this goes, because yeah, it's making me feel funny, and I don't like the icky feeling that I've got. So as I say, I'm probably going to leave this video here, and pardon me, and next episode will be a proper full-on episode again. But yeah, anyway, thanks ever so much for watching. If you haven't done already, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, it really does help. Also as well, don't forget that by the April the 16th of next year, 2025, I'm hoping to try and get near to 1,000 subscribers, or 1,000 subscribers, and you are the only guys that can make that happen. So if you are watching these videos and you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It's free to do, it really does help. And also as well, a lot of people watch you know, not only my channel but many other channels, believing they're subscribed, and it turns out that one day when, you know, you've sort of accidentally clicked the mouse or pressed something on your keyboard, you know, that you've unsubscribed and not realised. So just check that subscribe button. As I say, it really does help. And all that's left for me to say is thanks ever so much for joining me on this episode. I've really enjoyed having your company. I can't wait to see you again next time. Bye for now.